I'm Daniel Aspinwall.
I'm Joe Aspinwall.
I'm the oldest brother. He's the youngest brother of the Aspinwall family. So we're here today, I think, to talk about how my dad has influenced our lives and our walk with Christ, specifically in regards to evangelism. I remember early on, one of the things that my dad told me was the 3 things you gotta do are love God, love people, and make disciples, because that's the 2 greatest commandments, and it's the last thing Jesus told us to do. And I looked at the Bible, I thought about that. I'm like, man, that is right. And so that has really governed my life from that point onwards. I love God by being obedient to Him, like He teaches us in John 14:21, and by having a relationship with Him. I love people by being servants to them, and lastly, by making disciples, because the best thing that ever happened to me was having a relationship with God. And if that's the best thing that's ever happened to me, that's the best thing that can happen for everyone else. So that's the best way I can love people.
For me, it really kicked in about senior year in high school. The summer before senior year, I went to Guatemala, and that trip I took at first with a small group. Actually, the rest of my family came. It was just me and a group from EV Free. And then I stayed there for another 3 weeks afterwards with people that we had met there. And for some reason, I would wake up at about 5:30 in the morning every day. And it was frustrating, and I didn't really like it. But the only thing that I could think to do was hop out the window and go pray outside for about an hour and a half till everybody woke up. And so I do that, and I started struggling through these ideas of, okay, I'm supposed to love God. I'm supposed to know that He's real. And I need to do something about it. It's not just an idea. It's a driving force for my life. And so that kind of motivated me when I got home to do what I should have been doing the whole time, to be telling people about God. And I came home and I started talking to my dad about that, and he's like, yeah, I told you this 5 years ago and you totally didn't get it. And all of a sudden I was doing all of the things that he'd been doing the entire time, and I could go to him for advice on that because he knew what was going on.
So something that is interesting to me, and this is seen in Joe's story, is a lot of the advice that my dad gave us didn't elicit an immediate change, but a change in the future, right? So we had to figure it out in our own time for each of us, because we're people. That's how we are. We're individuals. We got to figure out the God thing for ourselves, because it's not a relationship, between my dad and God that's in us. It's a relationship between me and God. So we're each responsible to figure that out for ourselves. And so I had a very similar experience. I was an adult when I was around the house. I was an idiot. I did what I wanted to do. I was worried about making myself happy however I could. But I ended up leaving the house to go to school and then the army. And so, and when I was there, I figured out, Jesus needs to be in charge of my life, not me, because I'm really bad at being in charge of my life. So when I was there, things that my dad said, like, put Jesus in charge of your life, or love God, love people, make disciples, those things occurred to me, and I started analyzing them and working on them. And I had a very similar experience to Joe. I came back to Dad, and he's like, I'm so proud of you. Why didn't you do this 5 years ago when I told you to? But, I figured it out eventually. So, thanks, Dad. Love you tons. Big hugs.
I love you, Dad. Thanks.